everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 6 and see how this particular phone holds up in the middle part of 2024. Now, the big thing to keep in mind is that in a lot of ways, this phone really isn't necessarily worth buying. I couldn't really think to myself in a lot of different ways where I'd recommend this phone to the average person. It really doesn't make a lot of sense, and you are much better off purchasing devices that are still supported with software. So those ones will be linked down in the description. So you can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. But like I said, for the average person, I probably would not recommend buying this particular device. So on the outside, you can see that this phone in some ways still looks like a phone that's still being sold in this day and age, which is the iPhone SE 3rd generation. The iPhone SE 3 is still being sold right now, which is actually pretty crazy. And this particular device is no longer being sold. So it stopped being sold like many years ago, and it came out in 2014, like 10 years ago, which is insane. So for one, I mean, it's a pretty outdated device when it comes down to it from that particular standpoint. So I do think that in of itself is one really big thing to keep in mind. Now, on top of that, you're still getting a lightning port at the bottom, so it's not terrible there. A headphone jack there too, which is like totally okay. On the back side, you're still maintaining a standard type of back, single type of camera setup. You're getting a Apple logo right in the center, but this phone is missing out on a lot of things that a lot of current phones will basically give you. So this phone is missing out on things like, wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, which no iPhones have, but it would be nice to have. But you're also missing out on things like, IP certification. There is no IP certification going on inside of this particular phone. So that is a pretty big thing. The fact that if you dip this phone in water, even by accident, which is probably going to be a majority of the time, this phone is not going to be giving you any type of certification or changes there, which is probably going to be a very, very big thing to kind of keep in mind there too. So I think this in and of itself is another very, very big thing to keep in mind. And I would say from a outside perspective, you probably want a phone that's going to be more durable. This thing is lacking very bigly in that particular area. But also another big area this phone is missing out on is basically with the software. This phone isn't really getting software updates anymore. And this phone hasn't really gotten a software update in many, many years. It stopped at iOS 12. We're now on iOS 18 beta right now. So it's been like 6 years since this phone has gotten a software update. This is a very, very big thing to keep in mind here. I highly doubt you want to go and buy a phone and have it already outdated with software when you buy it. And that is kind of what's going on here when you're buying this particular device, for better or for worse. So I would hate for you to go and buy a phone if you're going to go and buy a device like this, just because you're going to be missing out on so many future software updates, so many future improvements. Like, why would you already want to succumb to a device like this? We can go forward and buy a device that was probably going to be significantly better than this thing. So once again, take that as you will. Performance-wise is another very big thing. This device inside had like the Apple A8 chip inside of it, which again, like when it came out, wasn't even that big of an improvement from the previous chipset, which was the A7. So from that side, this device is already kind of, you're kind of missing out on this device too from that particular perspective. But also when it comes down to the other side, like the actual performance day to day right now, it's still not doing a good job. Like you're still missing out on a ton of different things, all the way from a performance perspective to just lacking in a lot of different ways too. So I look at a device like the iPhone 6 in the middle part of 2024, and there just isn't really any reason why I would recommend this device anymore. There are much better devices to go and buy, and this one just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.